Hello everyone, welcome back to another e-reader review video. This one is my long-awaited Kobo Libra Colour review. If you missed the unboxing for this one and you want to see my first thoughts and the unboxing, I will link it below so you can watch that. And I also have so many other e-reader videos. So if you're just an e-reader fan, or maybe you're trying to figure out what the best e-reader is for you, then definitely check out my playlists below because I have so much e-reader content because I am just obsessed with e-readers. So if that's you and you're here because you're trying to figure out what you should get or you're just obsessed with it, please give this video a like to help other people who are also obsessed with e-readers see this video because it helps my channel so much and it helps me be able to have even more content for you guys so that we can keep talking about the things that we love. So today we're going to talk about the Kobo Libra Colour. And as you can see, it does have an e-ink screen and the thing that people I think are wanting the most, it has buttons. So we're gonna break this down today. I will put little timestamps on the bottom so you can see if you're looking for a particular thing or feature, you can find it easily, or you can just watch the entire video and hang out with me. I'm also going to compare it to the Kindles in depth at some point. I will show you in this video just briefly so you can see it, but if you have a specific question, please leave it in the comments if I don't answer it in this video, or if there's something you really want to see more of, please let me know because I think I'm going to do like a whole e-reader FAQ now that we have the Colorsoft coming out. So please leave your questions and comments and different things down in the comments so we can discuss them and I can do a whole video comparison comparing all the e-readers, but I'm mostly going to focus on the Kobo in this one. And by the way, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you love e-readers. I generally talk about e-readers, I do reading vlogs, and occasionally I have other vlogs and things like that. So please make sure you are subscribed if that sounds good to you. So let's jump into this. Let's go ahead and I'm going to actually show you a few different colors. I feel like it actually is not the best cover to have Quicksilver because it is a bit monotone, but you can even see right here, there's these little colorful butterflies. So we're not really sure about the Colorsoft yet, if we're gonna have like little features like this that are in color, but on the Kobo, you do get color on any page that has color. I'm hoping that's gonna be the same with the Colorsoft because they were advertising like manga and things like that. Some people were asking me in the comments of the shopping for the new Kindles video if the Colorsoft was just the cover page. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming you can see anything you want in color. But let's go ahead and let's look at a few of them. I've got a few ARCs on here, so you've got things that don't have covers, but if we scroll down, you can see that everything is shown in full color. And the color quality is not as good as the black and white. It is a little bit hazy. I know that was mentioned a few different times that hazy was an adjective that was used to describe the color e-reader screen, which is not really something that you want, but honestly, I have not found that to be a problem on this device at all. It's not something that has been too much of an issue. The funny part though is the formatting, depending on if it's an ARC, something I purchased off the Kobo store or something that I transferred over from Kindle. Some of the covers are different sizes, you can see, and it annoyed me at first, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I've gotten over it since then. So let's look at a book that has been purchased from the Kobo store. So I purchased Happily Never After from the Kobo store. So this formatting is formatted for Kobo. It's the way that it should be. And you can see again here, you've got that color. It's kind of a light pink. And if I turn the screen off, then you can see it stays like that as opposed to the black and white. It doesn't actually, like the color doesn't look that vibrant until you see it next to something black and white. And then I think you get a better comparison. You can turn this little rectangle off. And at first I didn't really love it, but now it's kind of one of my favorite features because I can remember how far I am in the book. And then when you're charging it, it also tells you how long it's going to take to charge it to full, which is really nice. So that is a book that's been purchased in the Kobo store. So all the formatting is for Kobo and nothing is weird. It all looks right. The font sizes are normal. All the hyperlinks work and everything like that. And then here is the first page and it just looks normal, right? So when you click on it, you can actually change so many settings, but here's the thing with the Kobo. I still have trouble clicking in the right place. Like it keeps, you can see, there we go. Now I have the menu. So sometimes if you don't click exactly in the right place, you'll end up in different things. I'll show you what all the different controls do. So you can actually change the font if you want, just like you can on the Kindle. And I went and I side-loaded Bookerly. So right now you can see it's on publisher default, but I actually side-loaded Bookerly onto the Kobo because I love just that entire, the font on the Kindle was something that was holding me back just because I love the Bookerly font. So it's pretty easy to side load that. This seems like it's kind of weird with the lines, the line spacing. So you can go ahead and you can adjust that, things like that. You can adjust the margins. You can change the font size, the justification. You can actually pinch to make it a little bit bigger. But then I find that sometimes, like, see, that was just one pinch. It's kind of dramatic with its its sizing. And then you can also actually just slide your finger up the left side to increase the brightness. You can see there it is. And there's the brightness at 100%. It's pretty bright. I generally keep it down here, probably somewhere in the 30s, the 20s. And then you can also increase the warmth as well. I would say this device just naturally is a bit warmer than all of my Kindles. It just naturally stays a bit warmer, which I like, but it also has a bit more of a backlight. So I think maybe the warmness is compensating for the backlight. You can see your view options here. At the bottom, I have 3% red is what I've chosen to have. And then I have 5 minutes to go in chapter 1. And you can change those. So if we actually see, to make sure I'm clicking in the right place, because if you click at the top, it's kind of cool. Like if you swipe down, people on Kindles might be used to like swiping down for settings. If you swipe down, you can actually go back and forth between like your most recent books, which is fun. You just have to remember that that's what that control is. Go back up. Okay. So, oh my gosh. See, I think this is a me thing where I can't get it to be, there we go. Okay. So on here, you can actually, if you have the little stylus, which I don't have, I feel like this would be a better review if I had the little stylus, but I haven't gotten there yet just because I am not a big annotator of digital books. I love to annotate my physical books, but I'm just not a giant annotator of digital content. I do like to have my highlights saved, which is a big downside of the Kobo, I will say, is that I really like to be able to look at my highlights on Goodreads, and this does not automatically go to Goodreads. So Kindle has got you there with the automatic Goodreads integration. This is editing me. I just realized that I completely forgot to show you that you can highlight in color. So even if you're not, hugely into annotating, you can actually click on that. So if I wanted that to be blue, then I could just click blue. This is kind of hard to look through the viewfinder and do it, but let me show you a couple of different colors. So there you go. You can see that you can actually highlight them in different colors, which is super fun if you want to have color highlights. Okay, back to the regular video. Oh, and look, what's interesting is, can you kind of see what the screen is doing there? I hope the camera's picking it up. So there is a bit of like rainbow going on here, and you can actually, it looks worse on camera than it does in real life, but this just kind of shows you that this is less of like an e-ink and more, I don't know, it's not like an iPad, but it's somewhere in between a Kindle e-ink and an iPad. And for some people that might not be a deal breaker, for some people it might be. So I just wanted to kind of show you that as it popped up. It is golden hour outside and the sun is setting, so I will try and talk fast and make sure we get through this before the sun goes down. So you can increase brightness, you can actually put a little schedule on there in case you want to do that. Like I showed you before, you can change all the different fonts and sizes, and I feel like that's actually even a little bit more customizable than a Kindle. And then this is a really cool feature for a lot of people where they might like to see their stats, where they can see how long the chapters are. It learns how quickly you read, and then it tells you how many hours you have to go, how long the next chapter will take you, maybe if you're trying to go to bed and then you want to know if you can read the next chapter, it will keep you updated on that. And then you also have some different settings. So again, these are the ones that I have selected, but if you want to have like on the top of the page, pages left in chapter, % of chapter read, or you can turn it off if you just don't really want all that information. And at the bottom, I did have time remaining in book for a while, but then I had decided to change it to percent read just because I wanted to be able to have that there for my ability to tell Goodreads where I was, because I like to update you guys. If you're not following me on Goodreads, feel free to go check me out below. I will link it so we can be friends and we can see updates in real time. So you can also change the page turn buttons, where like I have this one as next just because that's where my hand naturally sits, is like the seams. I know it seems weird, mine's inverted, but by default this one is previous and next. That's probably what a lot of people would want, but that's just what I had. Some people have also asked me, does it flip? It does. So you can flip it either direction that you want it. Sometimes I forget when it's on this side, but it's kind of nice that it just automatically flips to whatever you want. Same as this little guy. This is the Oasis that they no longer sell anymore. This is like a collector's item. I'm really glad I didn't get rid of it. I almost did at one point because it has a micro USB charger, but I'm so glad that I kept it because now it's not here anymore. So this is kind of the closest thing that you can get to an Oasis. So those are just your general reading options, just kind of what it looks like to read on the Kobo. Now, something else that you can do is you can create collections and notebooks. And let's talk about the collections. The collections are sorted exactly how you want them to be. Like I have them sorted by, here are some NetGalley books that I need to read before my time is up for feedback. So I have them sorted, but again, sometimes they're formatted a bit strange just because they are early copies. So you don't get to see a lot of those. But if I wanted to create a new collection, like say I wanted to create a fantasy collection or a TBR because I just want to, so I can remember what I want to read, I'm just going to title this TBR. Oops, didn't take that. TBR. I will say the screen is pretty responsive. It's definitely less delayed than a Kindle. In fact, when I started using this, I was amazed at how quick it is because on the 2021 paperwhite and Kindle, that's what I have right now. And this one, they're honestly pretty laggy. I've seen on the new ones that they're pretty responsive, but these ones currently that I have are kind of laggy. So when I started with this one, I was kind of amazed at how quickly it responded. So what's nice is it has you add your books to your collection. So, okay, right now I'm reading Quicksilver, as you can tell. I really, really need to read very soon. I really need to read Nightbane because the next one, the third one is coming out, and I really need to read A Tribute of Fire. Those are like the two ones that I need to read immediately. So I'm going to create a little collection. And then immediately you can see that this is my TBR. So these are two that I've actually transferred over from Kindle, and I can make an entire video on that if you want. It is a bit of a process, but once you understand how to do it, it's actually not that hard. And same thing with NetGalley. Some people were asking me like if you want to use NetGalley. NetGalley is really seamlessly integrated again with the Kindle system. Like once you authorize it, it's just easy to press send to Kindle, and it just is so easy. The Kobo store, I will say, is a whole other animal that we can talk about, and I will show you here in a moment. But I will say transferring things over, it takes a bit. Like if you're used to this ecosystem, the Kindle ecosystem, it does take a bit of time to get used to Kobo, but once you understand it, it's not a problem at all. And I actually tried to just use this device for an entire week, and I think that's going to be a vlog that I will have up pretty soon, like just using my Kobo for a week, because I was like, what if I didn't have Kindles? What if I just wanted to be a Kobo person? Then what would happen? Could I do it? Would I enjoy it? Would I miss these features? And pretty much you'll see in the whole vlog, but it works out. There's a learning curve, but I do love some things about the Kobo so much. So there's my little collection. If I go back to home, then you can see all my different sections. It has like my currently read books, it has all of my books, and then it also has the ability to go to the Kobo store as well as connect to the library. Now let's talk about the Kobo store first. So you can go into Discover, and what's cool when you go into the Discover tab, it doesn't immediately take you to like only the store, right? It actually had that little OverDrive thing pop up, so it really kind of wants you to read library books, which is kind of amazing. So there's that integration there. And if I type in a book that I want to read, Like I really want to read Immortal Dark. Immortal Dark. Let's see if this is on here. Now, if something is on Kindle Unlimited, it won't be on here because Kindle Unlimited is obviously exclusive to Amazon, but usually you can buy those books and then transfer them over. So that's a way you can get through that. Okay, so they have Immortal Dark, and here are my options. If I click on it, let's see. So you can do buy for $12.99. So that's kind of how that works. If I clicked on that, it has my credit card info saved. It just seamlessly buys it and puts it in your thing. Puts it in your thing, into your library. Now, usually there's a little button that tells you that you can get it. Oh, here we go. Okay, so if I want to, there's usually a little button that says OverDrive, but for some reason, maybe they've updated it and it doesn't say that anymore. You can click OverDrive and you can see if it's available. So this is my library card that it like taught me how to put that on here when I first opened the Kobo. When I was setting it up, I connected my library card, and I actually want to change I have 2 different libraries because I moved, and one of the libraries only lets me rent 8 books at a time or hold 8 books, but the other one lets me have it for less time, but lets me have like 20 of them. Does that happen to anybody else where one of their library lets them not have that many books, but they can have it for a long time? So I'm trying to switch which card it's connected to, and it's Libby and OverDrive. It's kind of the same thing. So I know that a lot of Canadian users really like the Kobo because it connects better with their library app. So you can actually click on here and, oh, it's because I already have a hold on it. That's why. So if I didn't already have a hold on this book, it would say like add to library, add hold or something. But because I already have it, it says remove hold. So that's what that is. So you can either buy it or you can put a little hold on it. And so that's kind of cool that the store and OverDrive are connected. And you can actually look for ebooks. You can see at the top it says ebooks, audiobooks, Kobo Plus, which is kind of like their version of Kindle Unlimited. And it is $7.99 a month, and it has a lot of audiobooks in there. You can kind of scroll through and see what books they have on here. I don't feel like the book selection is as good as Kindle Unlimited. I'm not gonna lie to you. But again, if this is a device that you really want, then you can just buy those books from the Kindle store that are on Kindle Unlimited and then just transfer them over, and then you have them on this device. So that's kind of what Kobo Plus looks like, the store experience. You can also have audiobooks. They take a little bit more storage. Honestly, the audiobooks are really reasonably priced on here too. You can scroll through them, and I really like the discovery. I feel like I found so many more authors on here that I really might want to explore. And then you have your OverDrive tab. This is your library tab. So you can see all of my holds. You can see new releases. Right now we have some diverse books down here. So they have lots of different suggestions. And so you can discover more diverse authors or whatever they have suggested at the time. So here you can see my holds. I can actually see on here when it's going to be available. So available in 4 weeks. Some of them are available, so like 26 weeks, 36 weeks for Immortal Dark that I was just looking at. So you can sort your holds, you can check on them. If I really didn't want to wait, I could click buy now. You could also sort it by date added, title, and author. So it's kind of nice that you can access your library app right here on the device instead of having to go on your phone, add it, and then, figure it out on here. So it's just very, very integrated, and that's kind of how that works. Now you can add notebooks in here. Obviously I don't have the stylus, so I haven't used this feature a ton, but I think this could be kind of cool. Maybe I'll put like a TBR notebook in here so I can add different ideas, jot things down. Let's see, I'm just gonna make this a basic notebook. Tells you kind of how to use it. I might have to get the stylus, but I think, oh no, can you not write with your finger? Okay, well, this is something for you to know. You cannot write with your finger. You have to have the stylus. Okay, well, that's something that we will figure out when that time comes. Please comment below if you want me to get the stylus so I can show you a bit more with that. Some other features that you have on the Kobo, you have a little wish list area. You can connect it to Dropbox, Google Drive. There are also beta features like being able to browse the web. And this is how I get a lot of ARCs from BookFunnel, is you can actually plug in different links and then just download it right on your device. And then also I do love the activity feature. Whatever book that you've recently opened, it will tell you your stats on it. So you can see that I've been picking this up not very often. So it was like only 3 minutes per session. 7% of all my books are finished. 12.5 hours of reading total on my Kobo since I've gotten it, which really doesn't seem like that much, but I feel like I've read more on it, but apparently not. It's very interesting to see all the different things, and I really like that you can sort it by author as well. So I know some people make collections on their Kindles for different authors, but here we just have it just right here. So I have two of my very favorite books I put on here. I haven't transferred all of my Kindle books over. I've only transferred some just because it does take a little bit of time. So for example, here's One Dark Window, the book that I will never stop talking about. And you can see if I wanted to switch quickly, oops, that was my bad. I think you have to be in a book. Hold on. See, I'm still learning all these gestures because there are so many. So yeah, if I wanted to go to like that notebook and then jot something down, I could. If I wanted to go to Happily Never After or Quicksilver quickly, like I wanted to switch books, I can quickly switch books. There we go. You can see the cute little butterflies. The formatting is a little funky. Like this is a page number right here. I don't know why that's in there, but this is one that came over from Kindle and it just has some interesting things going on. And you can see all the fonts are kind of different. When I open up the different books, I feel like I kind of have to figure out what I want it to look like sometimes because they look a little funky sometimes. So I will say part of the reason that I got this was for the maps so that I could see maps in color. Okay, this is a little finicky. I don't love this. Back to my books. Okay, didn't love that part. Sometimes I don't know if this is me or if this, like, tell me if this happens to you if you have this device, where sometimes I have to click it a bunch of times. But let me show you a book that has a map in it. Okay, again, I was telling you how you could look at how these are sorted. You can look at series. These ones I think are only if you've bought them through the Kobo app. It doesn't sort it. Otherwise, it just doesn't really know what to do with that. But I find that to not be a problem. Let's go ahead and let's find one that has a map in it, so that I can show you what that looks like. Here, I'm gonna go to my books. There we go. And I'm gonna show you Tribute of Fire. So this is still in black and white. So unless they have made it specifically in color, and this is true, this is not just this particular book, this was just the first one that I saw that had a map. It's not that different. So in case you were thinking of, like, here's me trying to zoom in and it's probably doing weird things to the formatting over here. Yeah. So it's not entirely helpful if you want that. It's pretty much the same as a Kindle experience. It's pretty clear though. You can see the quality. Let me try and get it to focus. The quality is pretty good, but it's just pretty much the same as you would have on another e-reader. Okay, I need to figure out how to be better about touching the right buttons on here. Okay, it's getting kind of dark. There we go. It's getting a little dark, so I don't want to make this video go too long just because my lighting is not the best in here. So again, you can leave all of your questions below. One question that I know I am going to get though is about battery life. And I will tell you that I've only charged this device once since, when did I get it? July? I think I would have to look back, but I have only charged this device once since July. And we're currently at 95%. I think I charged it over the weekend. So a couple of days ago is when I last charged it. It will also tell you if the stylus battery is okay or low, or if it's good based on if you have that one. And there are also a lot of energy saving settings so that you can go through and have it turn off at a certain point. You have security settings. Let me show you a couple of other things. So you can change the date and time, the Wi-Fi, the syncing, the reading settings, downloads, things like that. Again, I think this one is probably the page that most people are going to be wondering about on all of the different things that you can change. And you can really customize quite a bit on this device. So I think that's awesome. I do love the page turn buttons. I do have a little clear case on here that I'll link below. And then I decorated it in my little talking about my e-readers video, which I will also link below, because I feel like if you're watching this video, you would probably like that one. So I will link that below. I'll link the case. I will link the actual Kobo so you can see it. I bought mine off of Amazon, which is kind of funny, but I will link that on there just so that you can see the details. And then the power button is on the back. It's right there in the top corner. I know that some people have a bone to pick with the power buttons being on the bottom of the Kindles still, where, you know, they're easy to hit. So I think having it be a little bit further on the back is kind of nice. This is the Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, not the newest one, but the second to newest. You can see them all kind of right here together. And this is about the same size as the new one. I can't decide if I should get the new one just to unbox and show you guys or not. You can see that I think this one is pretty sharp, I will say. I think as far as weight goes, we'd have to look up the official weights, but this one is definitely easier to hold without a pop socket or something like that. And I just feel like it's nice because it has this side part to hold, but the screen sizes are pretty comparable. This one's a tad smaller, but it doesn't feel that much smaller. But if you look at the bezels, they're, well, actually, they might be the same size, or this one might be a little bit bigger. We'd have to look at the specs. So I will link both of them below. And if you have the basic little Kindle, this is, that's funny that it did that. This is how big that it is compared to the little Kindle. So it is a bit bigger, obviously. This one actually looks miniature when I hold it like this. This one is just a really nice size to hold. One last thing that I will say is I had some books disappear off of my Kindles lately because they were pulled from the Amazon library. So this is kind of an ethical dispute, I would say, and please let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. I feel like my Kobo is an actual digital bookshelf because I can side load things on here and they're not going to disappear. So that's part of the reason a lot of you were like, why did she keep the Kobo? Especially because we had, you know, some thoughts that maybe the color Kindles were going to come out. Like, why did I keep this device? Shortly after I got this device, I actually had a book disappear from my library and I couldn't find it anywhere and I couldn't figure out why. I think this has happened to a few people with like some books that are out of copyright at this point, that somebody published it that didn't have authorization to publish it or something like that. Like, I don't know if that's the only situation, but I know it's happened with a few people. I looked into it because I thought I was crazy that this book had disappeared. No, it wasn't just me. The book had disappeared. I didn't get a refund for it. I didn't get a notification. So if I hadn't been looking for that book, I would never have known. And I paid for that book. So technically, when you're buying Kindle books from Amazon, you are essentially leasing the rights to them. Kind of like having a DVD or a VHS as compared to something that's downloaded onto your streaming profile. It's kind of like that. I feel like this is more like having DVDs in a weird way. Like, this feels more like a flash drive to me where they can't just pull it off. These, whenever they're connected to Wi-Fi or a device, they can just pull that off. But since I've downloaded the books and then put them onto here from my Amazon library or from NetGalley or BookFunnel or wherever I'm getting them, they won't disappear. I don't know if the same is true for the Kobo store, where if like your Kobo book is taken out of the Kobo library, I don't know if that will disappear, but that is a big reason why I'm keeping the Kobo, because I feel like this is truly a home for all of my books and they won't just disappear. Now, does that happen often where they disappear? Probably not, but is it enough to make me a little bit wary that I want to keep my beloved files on here so that I can make sure that I have access to them for as long as this device lasts? Yes, absolutely. So that was a big part of why I truly ended up loving the Kobo. That, the page turn buttons, the ease of access, the color screen, and just all of those different features. So thank you so much for watching my little review. Like I said, please leave your comments below with any other questions. Just wanted you to be able to see those little butterflies one more time. there's the backlit screen, and then it dims. So that's kind of what it looks like. And this is what it looks like if it's just sitting around. So let me kind of give you one more comparison of all of these little guys. And then I will also show you a comparison when the Colorsoft gets here. I will do a comparison with all of these devices, but especially with the Kobo and the Kobo Libra Colour. There's also the Kobo Libra Colour, which kind of looks like this, but it's in color. And I've seen a lot of people going for that one instead of the Colorsoft, but I'm gonna just hold off on that. I'm gonna hold off on the ones that I have, and I will do a big comparison with the Colorsoft and the Kobo Libra Colour. And I will also do an unboxing for the Colorsoft. So lots of e-reader videos coming at you with all of these things. Please leave your questions below. Please leave your thoughts below, because I am planning on making a lot more e-reader videos. And I also, like I said, publish reading vlogs where I tend to mostly read on my e-readers. Let's be honest. I'm kind of obsessed with them, as you can see. So leave your comments, questions below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.